Pringle with these headlines. The government said today that consumer prices jumped 8.5% in July compared with a year earlier. That's down from a 9.1% year-over-year jump in June. On a monthly basis, prices were unchanged from June to July, the smallest such rise in more than 2 years. Gas prices helped. They were down about 20% last month. So-called core prices, meaning non-food and energy items, rose just 0.3% from June. That's the smallest month-to-month increase since April. And compared with a year ago, core prices rose 5.9% in July, the same year-over-year increase as in June. President Biden has pointed to declining gas prices as a sign that his policies, including large releases of oil from the nation's strategic reserve, are helping lessen the higher costs that have strained Americans' finances, particularly for lower-income Americans and people of color. But Republicans continue to make high inflation a campaign issue for the upcoming midterm elections, with polls showing that higher prices have dealt a blow to the president's approval numbers. The New York State Attorney General's office will question former President Trump under oath today as part of its long-running civil investigation into Trump's real estate dealings. Trump posted on his Truth Social account that he's in New York City for the deposition. The New York civil investigation involves allegations that Trump's company misstated the value of assets and misled lenders and tax authorities. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has sold nearly $7 billion worth of shares in the electric car company as the billionaire gets his finances in order ahead of his court battle with Twitter. Musk disclosed a series of regulatory findings that he unloaded about 8 million shares of Tesla in recent days. He's attempting to back out of an agreement to buy social media giant Twitter for $44 billion. Musk is by far the largest individual shareholder in both Tesla and Twitter. Trump-backed construction magnate Tim Michels won his Republican primary for Wisconsin governor Tuesday. Michels beat former Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Kleefisch, who was supported by former Vice President Mike Pence. Michels has shown support for Trump's false claims about the 2020 election being stolen. He'll take on Democratic Governor Tony Evers in November. In that state's Senate race, Democratic Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes won his race. He'll challenge GOP incumbent Senator Ron Johnson. In Minnesota, meanwhile, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar survived a surprisingly close contest for her Minneapolis-based House seat. While in Vermont, State Senate President Pro Tem Becca Balint is on a path to become the first woman to represent that state in Congress. Ukraine's Air Force says that 9 Russian warplanes were destroyed in massive explosions at an airbase in Crimea. Amid speculation, they were the result of a Ukrainian attack. That would represent a significant escalation in the war. Russia denied any aircraft were damaged in Tuesday's blasts or that any attack took place. Ukrainian officials have stopped short of publicly claiming responsibility for the explosions, while poking fun at Russia's explanation that a careless smoker might have caused munitions at the Saki air base to catch fire and blow up. Analysts have also said that explanation doesn't make sense and that the Ukrainians could have used anti-ship missiles to strike the base. An EU embargo on the import of Russian coal goes into effect tomorrow. The ban is part of the 5th package of EU sanctions to punish the Russian economy since Russia invaded Ukraine. Lucy Burchard reports from Brussels.
Wednesday marks the end of a wind-down period EU leaders agreed when signing off their 5th package of sanctions against Russia over its war in Ukraine. Coal exports into the EU will no longer help line the Kremlin's coffers. That means EU countries need to find alternative suppliers and compete with big coal buyers in Asia. The EU's bid to end energy dependence on Moscow is in full swing. Countries including Germany and the Netherlands have begun burning more coal to replace Russian oil and gas, and new fuel import contracts have been signed with nations including Norway, the United States, Israel and Egypt. But as more sanctions kick in, and amid fears Moscow may itself turn off the gas taps, questions remain as to if and how Europe will keep the lights on this winter.
And that's Lucy Burchard in Brussels. And I'm Max Pringle.